Yeah, I've been wanting to watch this video. It's the Ultimate MOBA Beginner's Guide, Heroes of the Storm in 2025. The creator, Too Sketchy, actually sent this to me, wondering if I'd like to watch it. I watched 1 or 2 minutes, and I liked the beginning. So let's check it out together. I always like it when people make introductory guides to the games that I love to play, like Warcraft 3 and Heroes of the Storm. I think more people should be doing it, and it seemed pretty well made, so let's check it out.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo! We're making a unicorn take a shit. Woo!
Is this actually... Oh my god, that's not part of the video. What the fuck? Why was that playing there? That was not part of the video. What? Alright, that's weird. I don't know. Opera GX doing some kind of embed. I was like, I don't remember that to be a part of the video. All right, let's go again.
Stay tuned to see what's in this loot box. Beginner's Guide on how to play Heroes of the Storm 10 years later. Heroes of the Storm, where every match feels like group therapy with cooldowns. Now, let's get the elephant out of the room. Yes, this game is very much still alive.
Wasn't Heroes of the Storm dead?
And in fact, depending on what mode you play, queue times are shorter than... Oh, gotta go. HOTS refuses to die, unlike the will of your team working together.
Yeah.
And that's kind of inspiring. Despite people thinking it's on life support, with monthly patch notes more so since Microsoft took over, and the recent hopium-injected trailer of a potential 2026 revival, has people like myself making content as if Blizzard is whispering, "Get in, Blizzard, we're backdooring core." For those
I didn't see that trailer for BlizzCon 2026. Apparently it was kind of Heroes of the Storm coded. I should watch that too.
unaware, Blizzard took HOTS, looked at every MOBA, and said, nah, no item shop, no CSing or denying CS,
No last
no
hit,
jungle
no
roll,
denies.
but instead you're soaking, not in a tub, but the XP, which we'll get into later. HOTS is straight up team fighting chaos with heroes from every Blizzard franchise. Want to play as Diablo from Diablo? Or a raid boss?
That's the first hero I played. Diablo. First hero I played. I was like, oh my god, you can play Diablo here. The power for a Blizzard fanboy of being able to play one of these heroes yourself in this game was very alluring to me. It may not be true for, like, you know, new young gamers that haven't played other Blizzard games ever, but like as someone that grew up with Diablo 1 and played it countless times, then loads of D2 and a bit of D3 and D4, like, you can play Diablo? Hell yeah.
From World of Warcraft. How about Genji, but with different abilities? Or an annoying invincible looking frog that will piss you off, surprisingly more than your team's decision-making skills. Welcome to Heroes of the Storm, where a Murloc can ruin your games, and yes, that was your tank chasing it, while you're getting... Anyone who has played HOTS knows of the inaugural team fight that happens at the beginning of every game.
Yep.
Unless...
Yeah, hell yeah! Oh shit.
The action is streamlined. You're in the fight from minute 1. No 10-minute laning phase, no endless last hitting to prove you're worthy to buy an item, which, to be honest, makes no sense.
I think it does make sense. I like earning money a lot in League of Legends and Dota 2 to buy an item. I feel like that skill expression in lane is really interesting. Not yet, Rui, after this.
Why does she have swords? Where does she put them all? But why? Why does this work in HOTS? Well, there's a reason this happens. But explaining that would involve nuanced strategies, mobile design knowledge, and a deep understanding of lane priority and matchups. But you clicked on a video aimed at beginners. So let's assume you are in fact a beginner. Unless you're not. Then you're doing exactly what you shouldn't be doing. Staying too long, both on this video and in lane. Go rotate.
But I want to watch anyway.
Rotating does not refer to you spinning in place, but to move from one point to another, from one lane to another lane, or camp, or objective. The main purpose is to catch the enemy off guard.
I thought rotating was a very strange term when I first heard it in HOTS. You know, because HOTS was later than Dota and League, there were a lot of terms already that came over from those other MOBAs that I had to learn, like anchoring, peeling, rotating, carrying, and I find most of the terms to be quite stupid.
Turning fights in your favor. And
Like, I don't think they cover the load very well. But yeah, by now it makes sense to me.
you ahead to try to snowball your lead.
But why play it now? because it's fun, because it's fast, and because deep down
They're
you're tired of
undescriptive.
teammates and other MOBAs thinking that they're pro. Here, everyone is equally confused. This video is made to ease that confusion, and with enough comedic timing, you might just walk away with... Ugh, jeez.
Such a nice
The best
hitbox.
way for me to help you start your journey is to show you each role, how to play them effectively, and what is required from you in that role. But before that, I need to show you the importance of XP and soaking.
Ooh,
It's the most crucial
nerd
part
details.
of HOTS. Yet, the majority of players from quick match to low elo ranked games act as if these little blue gems are poisonous, when instead they're literally your source to victory.
Yep.
I'll make it quick and only slightly boring, I promise.
I like boring.
Remember this? In simple terms, seeing this should give you anxiety, and if it doesn't, I'll do my best to instill you with some of mine.
Nice.
As a member of a team, you earn levels for soaking XP.
Soaking, the action of standing near blue meth crystals in hopes of overdosing in XP. Side effects include more levels, more talents, more kills, and more wins. Too Sketchy is not responsible if you actually lose.
Minions are the only source from which you can soak XP from, while capturing camps, destroying buildings, completing objectives, and yes, sure, killing heroes are more interactive ways of earning XP. Out of these 5 scenarios, however, which one do you think happens most frequently?
My DPS dies as often as my minions. XD.
No, the correct answer is minions. Here, look at this. Each wave is worth
480 XP. Some maps, editor's note, some maps have deviations.
Each wave is
Some maps and time will have slight variations in wave XP. This is Warhead Junction, 480.
worth 480 XP. A hero kill is worth 200.
Hero is 250 with 50 extra per level. Okay, so wave at level 1 is worth 2 hero kills, almost. You miss 1 wave and you get 2 kills, you're even.
50 XP, plus 50 per level. Miss 1 wave early game? That's more than a kill's worth. Just gone. Pause the video here for some nerdy numbers.
250 XP plus 50 level 1, 300 XP. Oh, it's plus level 1. Okay. So it's more like 1.5 kills is equal to 1 wave. So if you trade... I remember this from a long time ago. If you lose 1 guy, but you got a wave and they didn't, you're leading in XP. But if you lose 2, then you're behind. Level 5, 250 plus 5, 500 XP, yeah. Does the wave XP scale, or is it always 450? That's what I don't know.
But overall, waves are greater than
You forgot
kills.
first blood bonus? I actually asked this guy about it. He said it's plus another 50. So it's not actually that valuable. I mean, it's something, but it's not a lot.
At least in the early
What's up, Lapstip?
parts of the game. And your goal is to hit level 10 as fast and as safe as possible to unlock your ultimate. Because if you end up in a fight and the enemy has ults and you don't...
Yep.
Yeah.
It is very rare to win a fight without ults when they have it. But occasionally, opponent burns several ults at level 10 when you're 9, and you don't die. And then once you get 10, you know you have ult cooldown advantage. That does happen sometimes.
That's why you soak. By the way, XP orbs have 3 states of existence. As scientific as that sounds, once it's spawned, it has a 45-second lifespan. It has a 45-second lifespan, however, within the first 6 seconds, it's...
This is not super intuitive, is it? Is this explained by Uther in the tutorial? Did they ever update that? Because I think the original tutorial, I mean, there were no globes yet. You just got XP if you soaked nearby. Yeah, 100% XP and then 25% for another 39. Tutorial's not updated. Yeah, so this is really hard to learn if you're new. I didn't know this. Yeah. It's quite different looking, the full ball or the small ball. But knowing that after 6 seconds it turns small and that you only get a quarter. I mean, you can learn this by looking at your char. Because there's like an XP amount pop up. That says plus 12 or plus 48 or whatever. So you know that's a quarter if you pay attention, but most people won't.
It's worth 100% of of itself, of its XP.
Oh, I see, Rui. That's so
reduces
funny.
not only in size, but also its value, actually, by 25%. And then eventually it disappears. So, get it early. Oh, and obviously, if you kill a minion with an auto or an ability, it is automatically so. So, don't go looking for it. Kill.
Yeah, he said obviously, but I don't think that's obvious either. Like, you learn that every minion that dies drops a globe, but if you last hit it with an ability or auto attack, then you instantly claim the XP. Even if you're outside of the globe radius, even if you do it from very, very far away. I mean, it's good. It's good that we bring this up and can talk about actually.
Kills help, sure, but mainly because they stop the enemy from soaking. I'll show you some very hidden tech. No, it's not in this box. After a kill, look at the map. Push this lane, take that camp, go to that objective, or destroy this building. Even better, do all these things if the enemy allows you to. That's how you win in HOTS. Well, actually, you need to destroy the core, and that's how you win in HOTS. But to be able to do so, you need to take advantage of the enemy's death timers. Okay, any questions? Yeah? Comment down below. Now, let's talk about roles, finally. Let's start with tanks, or me go first. Your job is to engage, peel, control the space around you, and pretend you know what's going on. Bonus points for pinging frantically at things you want help killing. What's expected from you? Oh, soak damage. Since
I think bonus points for not using your abilities. When I play tank and I just don't use my abilities, the enemy plays so much safer. Like sometimes it's really easy to forget that the opponents have consciousness. Because sometimes you play, it's like everyone seems so dumb, you seem so dumb, teammate, enemy, all dumb. So you think you can just keep like throwing storm bolts and jumping and this and that, etc., etc., etc. But when you actually pay attention and you throw a storm bolt, you realize that's when the Genji suddenly decides to go in, etc., etc. Like people are actually paying attention to this more than sometimes I am or should be. So when I'm standing there as tank and I'm zoning, I'm like, I could shadow charge you. People just don't go in, which is very valuable. Alternatively, you can stand in a bush and wait till the enemies engage on your team. Hopefully not with your team dying. Tank is actually, I think, the hardest role to play well.
you didn't soak XP, did you? Start a fight, but not dumb ones. You know, check your levels. Are you alone? Are they alone?
A question to chat. What is this guy's accent? Which region in US sounds like this? Anyone know? I'm curious.
Check your squishies, who are probably mispositioned. Yep. Die heroically, or at least less embarrassingly so.
Northeast?
The starter pick for a
So
tank
like,
would be
New Jersey?
Meriden. He can take a punch, has a get-out-of-jail jump, and no one will yell at you for missing your stun. I mean, they might, but you'll survive long enough for them to blame something on someone else. Bruisers. I'm a tank, but like, cooler. You're the brawler of the team. Tough enough to take some hits, but mean enough to dish it back. You hold the
Boston,
solo lane.
Vermont,
You kill
I
the
see.
squishies, and sometimes remember to show up for the objective. What's expected of you? Well, to win the solo
Boston.
lane. To use the minimap and rotate, or not get rotated on, and be too annoying to ignore and too durable to punish. The starter pick would be Sonya. She spins to win, yells, leaps, and
That's a good
somehow
starter
wins
hero.
fights she has no business winning. Plus, she doesn't use any mana, which makes her beginner friendly. DPS/assassins. My numbers go.
Okay. Who would I recommend for new players from DPS Assassin? Jaina is my top recommendation. Jaina, Sagara, Tassadar. I think Jaina, Sagara, Tassadar. Maybe not Gul'dan. Tychus. Yeah, I think Jaina, Zagara, Tassadar, Tychus. Nazeebo? I don't think Rainer's as easy. I see a lot of people recommend Rainer. I think Rainer is harder to do. Because he doesn't have an escape. Like, yeah, he's got a small heal, but he's squishy and you need to stutter step and hit the right thing. Vala, look, I don't deny Vala as the noob hero. Like, all the noobs pick it. But I think she's too team dependent to happily play by yourself. With Tychus, you can set up a way where even if you're badly positioned, like you can heal a lot or you can kill someone fast enough. Jaina has a lot of skill shot. Yeah, but like just because someone is new doesn't mean they're gonna miss skill shots. It's more like people don't know how to manage their mana, combo their skills, how to position safely. And I feel like Jaina is safer than Vala because she can ice block and slow enemies and stuff. And she does more damage when she throws all her spells.
Ranged or melee, doesn't matter. You're here to delete health bars, or at least try.
I don't think we need to make new players only play bad heroes like Raynor. Like you can pick a good one like Jaina because it'll be more effective.
DPS/assassins. My numbers go ranged or melee, doesn't matter. You're here to delete health bars.
Let's see what he says.
Or at least try to. What's expected from you? Well, to deal damage. Don't get caught and hit things. Hit the right things. The starter pick would be Raynor. He attacks automatically. It's a feature. Healers. I choose who gets to play longer.
He picked
You're the
Raynor.
lifeline of the team, which means everyone will try to kill you. Don't make it easy. What's expected from you? Keep the team alive. Position like a coward. Ult at the right moment and get blamed regardless of the outcome. Starter pick for this would be Lily. You hold Q. She heals people. That's it.
Is she a good starter hero? She actually kind of is, yeah. I think Lily, good starter hero. Morales, kind of good too. Brightwing, I think is great.
You're overqualified. Support. Not your traditional support, so it's not recommended for new players, but I'm not a healer, but I feel like one.
Don't
You
play.
provide utility.
Don't play
buffs,
support.
Vision, slows, and just enough support not to get flamed for not being a real healer. And what's expected from you? Well, shield, speed, slows, utilities, annoy the enemy team by keeping others alive. You're the support role. Remember that, not the main role. So be where your team needs you most. In fights. Starter pick for that would be Zarya. You bubble people, then act like you did something game-changing. Sometimes you actually do.
The best
Then
out
there
of
are
the
other
four.
roles, specialist roles, or what the
The specialist role. I mean, do we still have the specialist role? Not anymore. Oh, specialist used to be its own role, but is now considered a subgroup. It's not mentioned in-game, but we don't forget. Yeah. But he's not showing Nazeebo. Nazeebo was in this list too. And Sylvanas, remember?
I push lanes and I don't talk to anyone. These are heroes with weird jobs like lane clear or summon stuff, global presence, and psychological warfare via emotes while you macro.
Macro play may include, but is not limited to, soaking lanes, capturing camps, rotating efficiently, calling for objectives, split pushing, and occasionally pinging a mini-map. Side effects may include winning more games, enemy team confusion, results may vary.
What's expected of you? Be annoying. Get macro value. Don't feed too much. And type Abadith in chat. Starter pick? Zul. Spawn skeletons.
Zul's good.
Chooses who to root and
Good
loves
noob hero.
meetings.
Not very good hero at fights though, but good noob hero.
Now, let's quickly touch on what makes HOTS so unique, besides the heroes. Again, yes, we're still doing this. Maps.
I think he should have led with this. If I structured it, I would start with maps, then go to... Well, actually, you start with addressing exactly what he did. Yes, the game is still alive. A lot of people think it's dead. This was based on a misconception after Blizzard closed eSports HGC 2018. They never did any effort to fix the misconception that the game was actually shut down in terms of servers. Since 2018, people have kept playing the game and continues to have a healthy player population on Europe in particular. Decent on NA, dead in Asia. Blizzard tried to kill it? No, they could literally just shut it down. There's no trying to kill it if you are the dev. You either do or you don't. They definitely didn't fix the illusion that the game had been shut down. We see people ask every single day I stream HOTS. People are always like, game is alive? Or like, I thought they shut down the servers, which never happened, right? Like, the number one that could have fixed that is Blizzard themselves. Yeah, and then I would go to what makes Heroes of the Storm unique. The XP nerdy details could come later. And then the role discussion. What makes Heroes unique? And then I would lead with Cho'Gall, Vikings, and the map diversity. Because this is how the game is different. Talk about the short game length. And indeed, just like he did, the lack of last hitting and denying. Team XP. Short games. A bit more sense of humor in the game. Takes itself a little bit less seriously. yes, there is toxicity because it's an online competitive multiplayer game, but it's not as pervasive as in League or in Dota, because in Dota you're held hostage in bad games, and in League your allies forfeit when you still want to play. So Dota games are very long and don't allow forfeiting, and that can feel really toxic. Makes people really mad. And in League, your allies give up before you're ready, and that can make you feel mad. And HOTS doesn't really have those two.
Yes, we're still doing
It's
this.
less stressful,
Maps.
yeah.
Show up for the objective or ignore it and lose in 10 minutes. Outside of these other indie MOBAs that only have one map, pathetic, each of these 15 maps in HOTS has its own gimmick. Some call them objectives.
Gimmick? I would say mechanic. Overarching objective.
I call them reasons to die together. For example, Cursed Hollow, collect tributes or get cursed. Tomb of the Spider Queen, turn in gems, lose them, blame others. Or Infernal Shrines, clear the shrine, summon a giant punisher, it jumps. Unlike League, lanes on maps are not predetermined by roles, but heroes, which may seem odd to new players. Like, where do I go? Well, based on your hero, several things.
Yeah, that must be really confusing for new players. I don't know where I'm supposed to go. Where am I supposed to go? And then you start getting pinged. Thrall! Thrall, go there. Go to the top lane. Okay, top lane is Thrall lane. Thrall, go to bottom lane. Oh. I have to go wherever there's unmitigated lane pressure from the opponent as the solo laner, wherever that happens to be. Sometimes it switches during the game because the objective is top. I'm expected to clear the bottom lane bottom because there's too much push and we can stall for long enough top. Except maybe I shouldn't go sometimes, because sometimes I should just let it go so that we can focus on the fight. And I don't really know when I should pick which one. So it'll just take me several tens of thousand games to figure out when to do which one.
Things will happen after that fight that happens mid, which we talked about in the beginning. Players will go to lanes, for example, but not limited to several variations of a 1-3-1 in 3-lane maps and a 1-4 in 2-lane maps.
Okay, this needs so much explanation if you're explaining it to someone like me. Maybe a lot of people don't care, they just accept this. And it's true that this is split 1-4. But the crazy thing is, there is no reason it's 1-4 on Battlefield of Eternity, which is the map we're looking at now, compared to 4-1. The map is symmetrical. Here's a bruiser camp for the left side, and here's a bruiser camp for the right side. So somehow both teams agree to put 4 people bot. Both, even though the Angel team has their bruiser camp more conveniently located nearby and are therefore in the advantage. And the Devil team has to walk further. Why not just mirror? Angel sends 4 bot, Devil sends 4 top. No, then you get crazy confusing games where both have insane pressure and end up taking each other's fort early game. And that feels chaotic, and that's not the order of things, and that leads to rotational distress and psychological stress. So both teams, the entire player base, has just in a mass hysteria event decided bottom is 4. Let's just not change the status quo because it's uncomfortable and untraditional, and it forces us to think, so let's not do that. When realistically, one of the teams has a better push team. One of the teams has Sylvanas or a Nubarak, and they can push the fort much better than the other. And that team should avoid the 4v4 and should force 4v1 and 1v4. But no, it's just too much thinking. Let's just keep it comfortable. Let's just don't rock the boat. Everybody stay bottom. Okay? And it's only the rebellious people of the 4-man that are like, no, I enjoy a little bit of anarchy. I'm gonna go 2 top against their 1. 2 against 1 and 3 against 4. Well, if you win the 2 versus 1, great, you're getting a lot of value. But if your 3-man loses to 4-man, oh my god, you're the devil. And maybe that's how you like it, because you do enjoy some anarchy.
The heroes who are soloing lanes are considered heroes who can push well, or have tools for self-sustaining, like regenerating mana, or regenerating health, allowing them to remain in lane longer even after taking a bad trade. The rest of the team stays together. At times you may take a camp and even rotate to catch the enemy solo laner off guard, and vice versa. HOTS is dynamic like that, and for most traditional MOBA heads may seem a little strange at first, but with experience It'll come natural. There's a reason us dedicated HOTS players love this game, and I believe this diversity of maps, playstyles, win conditions, and various build paths on heroes is what keeps us coming back. A rule of thumb for each map: when the map yells at you, listen. Now, not all objectives are created equal, but you're a beginner, so for now, just show up. There are moments when going for the objective is not worth anymore due to a numbers advantage of some sort, whether it's levels or literally being outnumbered. The team needs to agree not to go there anymore, putting them in a higher deficit if they were to die, and instead do that soaking thing to make up for the loss. Talents and HOTS are like Tinder bios. You pick what sounds cool and then you regret it later. Every few levels you pick from 3 to 4 talents.
It's hot.
Some increase damage, some add CC, some make your heroes viable. Picking the right talents make you feel like a god, and picking the wrong ones to avoid this.
Actually, Reign of Destruction had a higher win rate than Horrify through most of the average lifespan of HOTS. Actually.
Copy and paste the first build you see on IC.
Actually, I'll check right now. I know not everybody uses Hero's Profile anymore, but let's take a small look at Gul'dan and see what's real. If people really got better, as I've been theory crafting, then by now Horrify should be higher. But I'm afraid. I'm afraid, guys. Horrify, 49%. There we go! Reign of Destruction, not that bad. Less popular, but higher win rate.
Or fan HOTS, or don't, and be a trendsetter. Now, with all this knowledge, where do you actually start? Well, if you're totally new, play a few.
Wait, check higher leagues? Why? It doesn't matter. Okay, only high level, platinum and above. That's very high. Still better.
Few games versus AI, or even ARAM, which stands for All Random, All Mid, allowing you to choose from 3 random heroes to fight on a map in a single lane. The same rules apply, but with less soaking in mind and more fighting. These games are a good primer for you to fiddle with abilities and find a hero you enjoy and adjust any setting.
That's true, you can try out your builds and your hero here. It's good for mechanics practice, ARAM. And the great thing is, because everyone is having fun and just relaxing and enjoying some ARAM, nobody gets mad when you lose. Nobody flames each other. It's like the utopia of HOTS.
Things you might need to fiddle with. After that, I suggest playing some quick match games to get more experience by exposing yourself to the large map pool HOTS has to offer. Do this at your own discretion, however, as quick match games are for quick memes. There are bursts of flavorful moments with players from a variety of skill levels clashing and lashing out at every lost game. After getting valuable feedback from a quick meme player, do yourself a favor and...
Is that chicken madras?
Do yourself a favor and... This is a MOBA after all. A few other settings I'd recommend fiddling with are cursor size, cursor guides, colorblind mode, and check your preferences between commands on minimaps and attack move targets. See the tooltips for more details. Looping back to quick match, this is the blind pick from League, or the all pick from Dota 2. These modes should not be taken.
Overall match quality is questionable. Skill balance is perfect. What does that mean? Ally players ideal. Your party ideal, all players very close. Why is it questionable? What kind of algorithm metric thing is this? This happened right after I quit Dota 2, by the way. Or anyway, took a few-year break. I've seen that before. Yeah, it's weird.
All pick from Dota 2. These modes should not be taken too seriously, but are
I guess it's questionable because it's still Dota 2, and you're insane if you play that.
Place to prep you until you unlock Ranked, which, to be honest, is where I'd love to see you play eventually. Ranked is where players try to apply the basic levels of this video. This is where you'll learn the most, and while it may seem daunting, it's usually more organized, with a sprinkle of fragile gamers looking for a quick climb. Just remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. All right, you're here to play and learn. Don't worry about the numbers going up and down. They don't represent the amazing person you are. It's a team game. You didn't lose, your team lost. But also, it's a team game. You didn't win, your team won. And that's it. You've made it. Congrats. You're now ready for Heroes of the Storm. Oh, you thought I'd show you the loot? Okay, fine.
Legendary.
Oh, smart. Yo, I need to steal that. Yo, if you guys like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more of his content, give it a sub. Pretty cool. Always nice to see people make beginner guides to the games I love to play.